One special session down and one to go, and then the regular session after that. That's what 2024 has been like for the Louisiana Legislature. Joining me now is Louisiana Farm Bureau Legislative Specialist Joe Mapes. And Joe, I know you were there for that first special session. What was that like, especially with it focused on redistricting?
Right, redistricting, and they had closed primaries in that too. We've got 46 new legislators out of 144. So to answer your question, it was interesting to watch. And it was a lot like almost a herd mentality because, you know, with so many new ones, they're just kind of following the herd on the issue. And this is a very strong governor and, you know, coming in historically strong as he did. And so it was a very short session. We sine-died, we adjourned really quickly, I thought, and took care of all the business that was there. I know that the one bill on redistricting, the one bill on closed primaries originally had legislators in there too for closed primaries, but they amended themselves out and left the judges in and the congressional members. Their point was, we're not going to vote ourselves out of the way that got us here. You know, and closed primaries is a whole new system, and it's going to be complicated for the first few years at least.
Well, I know that other states do it that way, where only Republicans vote for Republican candidates in the primary, and then Democratic voters vote for the Democratic Party there. And independents, I think, under this setup, can go to either one as independents. So it is going to be a little different. We used to have that in Louisiana a long time ago when I was younger, and we switched it, and now we're switching, you know, back to it. So yeah, I think it was under the Constitutional Convention of '73 that we saw that come
exactly right.
With Governor Edwards. And let's talk a little bit about Governor Jeff Landry. You mentioned that strong coming in, and this is his first term as governor, spent the last 8 years as Attorney General.
Well, he's got a lot on his plate, and we're looking forward to support him in every aspect of it. But he's got reforms that he needs to do, obviously, in law enforcement. I think we'll probably talk about that here in a second. But, you know, in voting, and there's a whole agenda that he's starting to merge departments, and he's got some really innovative thinking. But he's got a big task ahead of him, and the best I can say is that we're going to support him and work with him in every way that we can to help get that done.
In a minute or less, let's look at the next two sessions. You got another special session about law enforcement and then the regular session. Anything that agriculture and our farming communities need to be concerned about in each of those sessions?
In the special session, it's going to be a crime reform session. I've been told there's 17 pieces of legislation in there. This governor being the state's highest law enforcement officer for the past 8 years, and now a strong governor, I'm going to make a prediction that those 17 bills go through with relative ease, because again, I'm going to refer back to a new legislature overall, and they're looking for guidance, and I don't see them bucking him, the governor, in this reform session for law enforcement. When it comes to the regular session, it's an 85-day session, so it's not limited to 60 days and just a fiscal session, which is every other year in Louisiana. Now, as far as the issues, we don't see any issues coming at us yet, but issues rain down from above, from the national level. They come in sideways from other states right when we're in the middle of the session. Last year, the perfect example is the atrazine situation, where the Syngenta plant would have been shut down in St. Gabriel Parish. We developed a position on that, and we had no idea going into the session that we were going to be working on that. And we had protesters and everything, so it was a full Monty issue.
Well, Joe, we're glad that you were there helping out the Louisiana Farm Bureau and everyone across the state. He is Joe Mapes, the legislative specialist for the Louisiana Farm Bureau Federation. And Kristen, we're going to be keeping track of things going on at the legislature as well here on This Week in Louisiana Agriculture.